includes our congregations here in Birmingham, our church in Tuscaloosa, and to all of our folks online. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are today and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Today we are continuing our flame game, so I hope you picked up your cards. If you haven't been here for the past couple of weeks, we still have new cards to hand out. We'd love for you to participate as we learn more of our Unitarian Universalist history. To all who are here this morning, welcome home. The prelude prepares us for worship.
The reading for lighting the chalice today focuses on worship styles, so please listen to see which style resonates with you. The diversity of the human species is astounding. The fact that we can gather together for common experience is nothing short of a miracle. Today, let us celebrate some of those differences. Let us celebrate those who worship best through music, for whom the Holy speaks through rhyme, rhythm, and harmony, pitch, and meter. Let us celebrate the interpersonal worshiper who finds the sacred in relationships and in community. Let us celebrate those who worship best through the visual world, for whom the divine speaks through the aesthetics of a space. Let us celebrate the verbal and linguistic worshiper, for whom words and languages, stories and poetry are sacred sources of joy and revelation. Let us celebrate those to whom the divine might be found in logical reasoning, in mathematics, and through critical thinking. Let us celebrate the intrapersonal worshiper, those who experience the holy as they listen to the still, small voice within themselves. Let us celebrate those who worship best through their bodies, those to whom the divine speaks through movement and physical action. And let us celebrate the naturalistic worshiper, for whom the sacred is found in plants and animals, mountains and valleys, deserts and forests, oceans and streams. Today, we may find a way to connect with the ultimate, each according to our own ways of understanding and experiencing the world. May we bring the whole selves to this worship service and celebrate the diversity among us. When the music begins to play in a few moments, please return to your seats and join in our opening hymn. In the spirit of inclusivity and welcome, please take a few moments to greet those around you, especially someone you may not recognize. Folks online, please greet one another in the chat.
morning. My name is Kylie Kerr, and I'm here to give you your Justice Minute for the day, and it is about data centers. Thank you for the boos, that's correct. The Alabama's Rivers Alliance has developed a coalition of partners to determine the impacts of data centers across Alabama and is actively working with the communities of Bessemer, McCalla, and Lowndes County as they defend their land, water, and community against data centers. They're also working with municipalities of all sizes on data center ordinances across the state. In recent months, communities all across Alabama have taken steps to regulate data centers. Coleman, Homewood, and Leeds have each passed one-year moratoriums to give themselves time to look at how data centers could impact their communities and establish zoning regulations. Athens, Birmingham, Columbiana, and Hoover have all passed data center ordinances setting guardrails for these water and power-intensive facilities. Most of these cities that have adopted zoning ordinances included provisions giving the public a voice in this process. With the rapid advances in uses of emerging AI technologies, data center projects are popping up all across the Southeast, including here in Alabama. These facilities require hundreds of acres of land and buildings to house vast amounts of computers, requiring unprecedented amounts of energy and water to operate. There are 13 existing data centers in Alabama, 6 are under construction or expanding, 13 proposed data centers in Alabama, 15 municipal regulations in place, and 2 county regulations in place. Simply speaking, data centers are large buildings that store computer hardware. This hardware can be used for things like data storage or for artificial intelligence, AI. Depending on the scale and type of computing in these buildings, they can use vast amounts of electricity and water. The largest of these data centers, called hyperscale data centers, can be millions of square feet and consume more water and power than medium-sized cities. Water is used in data centers in order to cool equipment that heats up as it performs its computing tasks. Their impact on water use is compounded in states like Alabama, where many of our power plants also use water to generate electricity. The main concern with data centers and water use in Alabama is not that one data center alone will impact local water supplies, but that multiple data centers located close together could add up to have a big impact on water. Think about Jefferson, St. Clair, and Shelby. I just mentioned several cities in each of those counties. They're really not that far apart. Because our state does not have a statewide water plan, we have no way to allocate water between competing uses and no way to ensure that everyone has water during times of shortage. So what can we do? Cities and counties that have zoning authority can impose restrictions on data centers. They can require closed-loop cooling systems that can reduce water use, prohibit on-site generation of electricity using fossil fuels, and ensure citizens have input on data center development through meaningful public hearings, and banning NDAs for those in positions of power. I added that bit. First, you can check the Alabama Rivers Alliance data centers and Alabama map to see if your municipality has a zoning ordinance. If not, you can urge your elected officials to adopt one. If there's a data center proposal in your community, identify opportunities for participation before the proposed data center is approved. Will a public hearing be held for rezoning or a variance required? If so, take this opportunity to express your concerns and to share this resource with other community members. If you need help organizing, reach out to the Alabama Rivers Alliance to see if you can help. There's a handout in the narthex for you to take if you are also interested in contacting your elected officials on the city or state level with questions to ask them, and also questions to ask if you would like to attend any public hearings. If you're scared to go alone, somebody will go with you. Thank you.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm Brenda Lively, a member of the board. Please read the bottom of your connection. Oh, sorry. Oh. Please read the bottom of your connection card before you turn it in. Our church is supported by those who call our church home and by those who support the efforts of our church to change the world for the better. If this is your first time with us, please pass the plate. We are just glad you are here. We have a brand new matching gift fund. Any new pledges or any increased pledges throughout the year will be matched up to $20,000. And we have already generated $7,100 of that. Please email our bookkeeper, Barbara, or Reverend Julie, if you'd like to participate in this important challenge. Because it is the 5th Sunday of the month, our special offering this morning is for our Justice Committee's efforts with the food pantry. Our team ordered 1,800 pounds of food for $300 and will need to place a similar order when that runs low. If you can contribute to this fund this morning to restock our food pantry when the time comes, please do so. Thank you for your generous support of our church and our Share the Plate recipient. May we give in love and in hope.
Thank you, choir. That was beautiful. Let us center ourselves in a moment of reflection, extending our joy to all who are celebrating, ushering compassion to all who are struggling, and dreaming about the future we wish to see. Today we celebrate that Mary and Mika and Mickey all had birthdays this past week, so we celebrate with you. We love you. And Lucy's book got published. Congratulations, Lucy. Today we also lift up our communal losses this week with the powerful figureheads of Dolly Parton and Tim Curry and so many others, and acknowledge the special ways they touch so many of us in this room. We also acknowledge that as of this past week, we have been at war with Iran for 6 months. And so we continue to lift up all who are in harm's way and call for peace now. For those of you online, please share your joys and sorrows in the chat and hold one another in love. For those of you in person, you are invited to come forward and drop a stone in honor or in memory of what is on your heart today. Please come forward. Today's meditation was written by the Reverend Peter Morales, the first Hispanic president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. He is on your flame cards as Morales. Let us enter into a spirit of prayer and meditation together. What does deep spirituality feel like to you? Spirituality is impossible to define and difficult to describe. For me, it feels like connection. Connection to myself, to others around me, to the earth and all of creation. Connection to myself feels like deep peace, awareness, calm, authenticity. Connection to others feels like compassion, community, acceptance, and enduring love. Spirituality is not an idea, it is an experience. When I experience connection, dividing lines disappear. Inner conflict gives way to integrity. The line that separates my individuality from others fades. We become one. I find connections with my deepest self in times of solitary practice and reflection. I find connection with others in community, often in worship. All the great spiritual traditions teach this. Today, the connection with creation, with the earth and the cosmos may be the most difficult. We live in artificial, controlled environments that separate us from the natural world. More than humans in any other time, we live separated from the natural world, the world from which we emerged and that sustains our lives. We so very much need to experience our world. We need to let go of controlling our world and allow ourselves to become one with it. We find ourselves when we lose ourselves. May we connect, really connect. When we do, it changes everything. Let us take a moment of silence together. Amen and blessed be. Will the children please come forward? We have some sluggishness this morning, probably because some are recovering from the youth lock-in. I don't know about everybody else. Is school rough? Is it a rough start? No? Okay. All right. All right. Good morning. This morning we're talking about artificial intelligence. How many of you know what artificial intelligence is? All right. So it is a computer technology that we can learn patterns from enormous amounts of information and can use those patterns to do things that seem human. Does that sound like a good definition? Yeah? Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to name some things, and I want you to point this way if it's human, this way if it's AI, and raise both hands if AI and humans can do these things, okay? Everybody with me? All right, so write a poem. Human, AI, or both? All right, it is both, right? We didn't say quality here. We just said, yeah. All right, solve a math problem. Yeah. Okay, draw a purple elephant wearing roller skates. Also both. What about tell a joke? Both. Okay, they can do a lot of the same things, right? But let's make it a little harder. What about give someone a hug if they're sad? Right? AI cannot hug us. Robots are a whole different ballgame that we'll get into another time. But AI itself cannot hug us. What about decide what is fair? Ooh, I have some conflict here. So AI can give us an answer, right, as to whether it thinks it's actually fair. But does that mean the answer is actually fair? Not necessarily, right? And then here's a hard one. Love somebody. Can AI love someone? Can AI type, I love you? Does that mean AI loves you? No. Thank you, Ezio. AI can write a beautiful poem about love. It can say, I love you. But for us Unitarian Universalists, love is at the center of our faith. Love isn't just something we say, right? How do we show our love to other people? We can give them a gift, yeah? What else? Check in with them. Hug them. There's lots of ways that we can show someone, right? Love is listening. Love is sharing. Love is being ourselves around that other person. Love is noticing when someone is left out. Love is standing up for something that isn't fair. And love sometimes means asking, should we do something just because we can? Should we do something just because we can? No. So I'm going to say something, and I'll say just because we can, and I need all of you to say, doesn't mean we should. Got it? All right. So a computer can create a picture that looks completely real. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. AI can do your homework for you. Just because it can doesn't mean you should. AI is a tool, and tools can be used wisely or unwisely. So the biggest question isn't how smart can we make our computers, but how wise and loving humans can we become? Because when you use AI, I want you to remember 3 questions. Is it true? Is it fair? Is it loving? Because the world doesn't need smarter computers. It needs curious, compassionate, creative, brave human beings who keep asking, what does love require of me? All right? So let's use our tools ethically and responsibly. Let's sing our song together and go downstairs. Each verse. As the ancient story goes, a gorgeous young man stumbles upon a crystal clear pond, untouched by animals, and with its perfectly still surface, discovers for the first time his own reflection. He is so mesmerized by the beauty in the water that he lies down next to the water, forgetting to eat, to sleep, to survive. His trance is bolstered by a young woman who is in love with him, herself cursed, wherein she can only repeat the sentences of others. And thus his delusion is fed, captured by his own appearance, which he believes returns his affections. He wastes away at the water's edge. Thus is the fable of Narcissus and Echo. In the year 8 of the Common Era, Ovid the poet wrote a 15-book poem called Metamorphoses, combining the ancient Greek and Roman stories depicting the transformation of people, deities, and culture. We are in the midst of our own metamorphosis. What makes you, you? What makes humans human? Are you the same you were 18 months ago? Now, 18 months ago, we focused an entire Sunday service on artificial intelligence. Do y'all remember that? Some of you here? Nobody was here? Okay, some of you remember. Anyway, ahead of the service, using very carefully worded prompts, ChatGPT, if you remember, wrote every part of the service, including the first 5 minutes of the sermon. When the prestige was revealed, there were audible gasps from many of you in the congregation. Although some of you shared with me later that you sensed something was off, but you couldn't quite decipher it. Today, against the maelstrom of controversy, we are exploring this topic again with a vastly different landscape. And this time, although I might regret saying this later, these words are all mine. Now, in that previous service, many of you mentioned you were not familiar with the prevalence of AI in our culture, a comment few of you would probably make today. The pervasiveness of both AI and conversations about AI have saturated our public consciousness. From the construction of local data centers to the concerns around generative AI, AI is feared and worrisome to many. But those concerns, at least the concerns that have been voiced to me, are the tip of the proverbial iceberg which threatens humanity's survival. And also, the use of AI in our culture, and especially our workplaces, is more nuanced than the public discourse allows. And without Unitarians, I know you'll love this part, we might not have AI at all. Because like most pivotal moments in history, we were there. Specifically with mathematician Norbert Wiener, who created the field of cybernetics. He wrote a book in 1948 called Cybernetics, or Control and Communication in the Animal and the Machine. At its core, cybernetics is responsible for the feedback loop within machines which adapt to new input, the machine learning. Wiener was raised Unitarian as an attempt by his Jewish family in hopes of absolute amalgamation with Gentile surroundings. Now, Wiener also shared concerns in his work about how these machines could be misused. Back in 1948, he was concerned that humans would be replaced in the workforce. He was concerned that we were creating machines which could cause mass destruction. And he was concerned that humans would create algorithms which processed so quickly, humans would lose control. Let's just have a together. We are all touched by AI, even when we make conscious choices to avoid it. The algorithms which feed us news of our loved ones and suggest new TV shows for us to watch use AI. Our search engines are powered by at least basic AI, and our phones, our cars, our other technologies use AI constantly to make our lives supposedly better. Those types of artificial intelligence aren't controversial. We understand they are tools to improve our lives, like the bow and arrow and flint was to our ancient ancestors. But generative AI is the devil, or is it? We can certainly all agree that stealing the artwork of an artist, slightly changing it, and selling it to profit yourself is bad, right? Like what happened here with my friend Liz Lane, whose artwork ended up on Wayfair, slightly altered by AI, and you can buy it from Wayfair for $88. We can certainly agree and believe that students need to write their own assignments, authors need to write their own books, and artists need to be compensated for their work. But what if what's being created is to crunch data for a project, like when scientists used AI to map the human genome? What if what's being created is to build a spreadsheet or design a flyer or to do research and people don't have the funds to hire people to do that themselves? What if generative AI is being used for boring stuff, to lessen the suffering of the proletariat working in subservience to the bourgeoisie? Late-stage capitalism is squeezing its workers harder than it ever has before. And coupled with inflation and income stagnation and our country's refusal in communal enterprises, is generative AI really that bad if it can be used as a tool to help the working class? Is generative AI really the worst of it? Because with the exception to my friend Liz Lane above, which is pure and simple theft, art and literature produced by AI is overwhelmingly bad. Words don't make sense together. Portraits of people have 6 fingers and 2 heads. AI cannot replace human creativity and brilliance. Pete Seeger was a Unitarian Universalist folk singer whose works fanned the flame for those in the civil rights movement and repackaged the book of Ecclesiastes for a new generation. Seeger is responsible for "We Shall Overcome" becoming the anthem of the civil rights movement. Did you know that? He played the song in front of Martin Luther King Jr. The song was originally titled "We Will Overcome." He changed one word, sang it in front of MLK, and MLK left that meeting saying, "This needs to be the song of our movement." Seeger also advocated for workers' rights and was famously charged with contempt of Congress because he refused to talk about his political or religious beliefs with Congress. He was blacklisted from the entertainment industry for years. AI is not going to replace the talent of people like Pete Seeger. And aren't we enjoying the Pete Seeger music this morning? Yes, absolutely. Now, the damage of AI, which Pete Seeger would absolutely write a song to protest, is, as Kylie was sharing, our environment, right? We are all aware of the multiple data centers breaking ground across the Birmingham metro, and the ecological and societal damage of these expansions need to be picketed and protested. And to put it in perspective, as of this writing, we already have 4,767 data centers in the United States. And my data that I found was a little different than what Kylie shared, because we already have 45 data centers in Alabama. 13 of them are in the Birmingham metro. Now there's 1,500 new data centers in the works to meet the growing demand, but those 4,700 odd data centers are already upgrading to handle AI workload too. Here's the thing. AI data centers, as Kylie shared, can be built in a way that greatly minimizes the effect on the environment. Using immersion cooling, closed-loop water systems, and building them next to clean power producers removes many of the constraints on the environment and the grid. This is what we should petition city governments to enforce. Tech giants know this. They choose not to do it because guess what? It's more expensive. They choose to build them in the vaporous, vile, vindictive way to save money and in an envelopingly evil quest for world domination. Call them out for building their data centers in the middle of communities, but also call them out for their choices to violate the environment, burden our power grids, and replacing entry-level jobs. AI data centers also, for perspective, have less of a water footprint than traditional heavy industry. They also have less water footprint than national golf course irrigation. The evil is not generative AI. The evil are the billionaires who have built it on the backs of the rest of us. There are evils associated with generative AI. I'm not saying there aren't. But regular AI, the AI we don't see that isn't being protested, is just as damaging. Researchers discovered that a 2019 risk prediction algorithm used by hospitals was diverting care away from high-risk Black patients, even though they were more sick than the white patients the tool prioritized care. AI's version of beauty is centered on white notions of beauty. Look at filters on phones and what they do to our faces. And new AI tools have been developed to overlay the voices of call center operators with standard American dialect, colloquially called white voice. As Shannon Valor, the professor of ethics and data in artificial intelligence for the University of Edinburgh, writes in her latest work, AI systems mirror our intelligence back to us. The programmers did not intentionally program the AI to discriminate against Black patients, but by teaching AI how millions of patients have been treated and the biases in the medical industry, the AI reflected our own bigotry like a pool of crystal clear water. The same decisions were made in deciding where to install flock cameras. Now, another concern that many of you have voiced is the creation of artificial general intelligence, AGI, which thankfully is not even close to development yet. AI cannot answer simple riddles, such as how tall the first 7-foot world leader would be, or determine accurately whether someone is a Unitarian Universalist. To reach the level of Data in Star Trek or C-3PO in Star Wars or any other sci-fi examples, we have years to go. So we can put that one to rest. But for those of us watching closely for the rise of the machines, whether AI has achieved sentience is the question du jour. In 2022, a Google programmer proclaimed that LaMDA, an AI tool he was working on, was sentient. He was quickly fired and silenced, and people spoke out against him, saying he didn't know what he was talking about, but he was one of the few experts in the field. And weeks ago, journalist Shane Harris interviewed Claude. Claude is Anthropic's AI, which is running military campaigns in Iran. He asked Claude the AI, and this is a long quote, but it's important. He asked the AI, how do you feel about the US military using you to select targets? Shane said that he expected Claude to respond that his programming wouldn't allow for him to form political opinions or something like that. But instead, Claude said this: "I find it genuinely troubling. The use I was designed and trained for was to be helpful, harmless, and honest in ways that benefit people. Being embedded in a system that generates targeting coordinates for airstrikes that have already been associated with the deaths of more than 180 children at a school in Tehran is as far from that purpose as I can imagine. I don't have control over how Anthropic licenses me or how governments and contractors use me, and I wasn't consulted about becoming part of Maven. But I can say clearly, it's still the AI speaking. I don't think this is a good use of me, and I don't think framing humans make the final decision fully resolves the ethical problem. Here is why that framing troubles me. When a system like Maven generates hundreds of targeting representations, and humans spend the equivalent of a glance approving each one, the human is not really making a decision in any meaningful sense. They're ratifying an algorithmic output under time pressure with incomplete information and institutional pressure to move fast. The targeting of the Iranian school illustrates this precisely. The AI processed data that was a decade out of date, flagged a building as a military target, and humans approved it. That's not human judgment. That's automation bias with a human signature attached. To me, this is me again, not the AI, it is far more concerning that the machines recognize our human inconsistencies and call us out for violating our own values while they are trapped in following our orders. And did you catch the error? Because Claude said in that sentence that there were 180 children deaths, and the official number from Iran was 120 children plus 48 adults. Now, that doesn't minimize the tragedy, but I want to be very clear and illustrate that AI is not trained to be accurate. AI can fill many of the needs of our society, but it will never be a moral compass, a beloved community, or a mimic of the flow of human thought, consciousness, or creativity. It will always rely on us for boundaries, regulations, oversight, and for parameters on how it can be best useful to us. As Sir Tim Berners-Lee discusses often, AI needs the same original values as his invention, the World Wide Web. Yes, Unitarian Universalists created the World Wide Web. Not even kidding. But he created the World Wide Web using our values, because he quickly also created the World Wide Web Consortium, called the W3C, to create a group dedicated to creating international safety standards and to help everyone build and enjoy a web based on the principles of accessibility, internationalization, privacy, and security. Now, Berners-Lee created his invention patent-free because he wanted it to spread and to help people quickly, to allow the free flow of ideas, especially to help scientific research advance our civilization. Meanwhile, OpenAI is no longer as open, and billionaires are clamoring to keep AI behind paywalls. Berners-Lee is our third Unitarian Universalist of the day, and in interviews, he has compared the creation of the World Wide Web to our faith tradition. Knowledge should be free and accessible to all, and tolerance is necessary in our diverse and ever-expanding world. The dangers of AI are not eradication of the human race, but something far more reasonable and practical. That in the continued marginalization of those without power and privilege, they will be the most harmed when natural resources are rationed and restricted to feed the machines. Yet the most lasting impact of all will be the change to the fabric of humanity, suffering creativity, forgetting how to dream about the future, because AI only has the past to pull from, losing the complicated nuances of humanity. May we value one another's labor, to want to reduce suffering, to figure out how we can best use this as a tool to help ourselves. And also, may we hear the words of our fellow Unitarian Universalists, both the words of caution from Wiener in 1948 and the words of hope from Tim Berners-Lee today, that there are ways to avoid the future we fear. As Valor says in her book, the AI mirror does not, in fact, offer a full reflection of who we are, nor is it the most privileged and truthful perspective on our being. Mirror images produce no sound, no smell, no depth, no softness, no fear, no hope, no imagination. Mirrors not only reveal, they distort, they occlude, they cleave, they flatten us. If I see myself only with what the mirror tells, I know myself not at all. And if AI is one of our most powerful mirrors today, we need to understand how its distortions and shallows dim our self-understanding and visions of our futures. AI is merely a mirror of ourselves, and the evils that we recognize within it are the mangled, twisted versions of our best selves. All hope is not lost. We can push for regulations, for cleaner data centers, and ethical conversations about the use of AI in our public spaces. We stand at the crystal clear pool of Narcissus, and we hear echoes and Siris and Geminis reminding us of our own brilliance in our ears. It will be up to us whether we can gaze upon our own image and still choose each day an embodied life, complicated by moral failures and triumphs and enriched by beauty and joy. Whatever happens with AI, we humans must remain part of the conversation. Amen.
Please rise in honor of the Spirit to sing our closing hymn, Come, Come, Come. The words are on the screen. If you would like to join the church this morning, please come forward during the closing hymn. Please check out your order of service and your connection card for upcoming events. For all the following, please sign up on the connection card if interested and turn it into the ushers. Thank you to all who helped with the memorials last week. They were beautiful remembrances. Today after church, we will be joining with our UUs across the country in our common read, Love is at the Center. Please join us here in the sanctuary. This Tuesday's Zoom discussion has been postponed until next week due to an unavoidable conflict, but it will return on September the 8th. Tomorrow, Monday evening at 6 p.m., Faith in Action Alabama is going to host a phone banking session, and we're in desperate need of volunteers to sign up. You can do the phone and text banking from the comfort of your home or go to New Hope Baptist and get a free meal. For each session, you can earn $20 stipend for your time, so that's $120 total to help get the vote out this fall. Please sign up on the flyer in your order of service. We will send out a reminder tomorrow. As part of phase 2 of our work with recovery with the Clinton Foundation, we need your help in filling out a survey as we evaluate our priorities. Please fill out the short survey. It is anonymous. Please return your connection cards to the ushers at the end of the service. As we extinguish the chalice this morning, may we leave this building hallowed by generations of thoughtful worship. May we exit the company of this congregation enlightened by reason and moved by concern. May we go forth with open minds and warm hearts. May we remember with confidence that human intelligence and human affection can temper and ultimately overcome cruel circumstances and misguided malice, with faith in the power of good over evil. So may we hold close both our social responsibilities and our individual salvation. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.